But I am so happy you've touched on a lot of things I want to do a follow-up question on. Now, I want to find out, I know the technical universities have a program where students are supposed to go for internships and then they come back to the back to the schools. I want to find out, is there a program where the kind of things they are taught there, where the institutions follow up to know the performance of the student who goes on the internship? That is one. And then secondly, to also find out from the student to see whether indeed they have been impacted.
Thank you. There is. Over the years, our students go on internship. For HND students, it's a 6-semester program. So like 2 semesters makes 1 year, so 3 years. And at the end of the 2nd semester, you are supposed to go for internship, which the university helps you. You, in collaboration with the university, get the place for your internship. You take a letter. The university knows where each student is going. And somewhere there's a program, somewhere along the line, when the program starts, as in the internship starts, lecturers are sent to go see what is happening in the industries. So you see us traveling. We find ourselves in Takoradi, but our students are scattered all over Ghana. So you see us traveling as far as Upper East, Upper West, Northern Region, Volta, wherever the students are. We have lecturers assigned to go check up on them. And there's something that is laid down by the liaison department of the university, the process, how it should go, what we expect them to learn, and how they should go about it. It is given to the industry. So they also know how to allow the students to also learn what they want to learn. Then when the students come back to campus, within the first week of reopening is for registration. The next week, lessons start. You have to submit a report of where you went to, whatever you did. And there's a format for them, for the whole university. There's a format that they have to follow. And when you look at the format, the name of the place, say in the hospitality department, you know the name of the hotel that you went to, the location, maybe a little background of the hotel, then you know what star and all those things, and maybe the inception of the hotel and all those, a little background, maybe about half a page or full page. Then what you went to do, you describe, you give short description or brief description of what you went to do as a student. Then we have a portion that talks about detailed description of what you went to do. That is where you now talk about the departments in the hotel that you went to and what you did from day one. How many days did you spend at the front office? What did you do there? Specific duties that you did there. Then you move whatever department you moved to, say kitchen. I spent maybe 1 week in the kitchen. I did ABC. You should be able detailed all the departments in the hotel. We know basically there are 4 basic departments. You must, as a hospitality student, visit all those, including any other, if you are allowed. So after that, you give your impression about where you went. You also talk about what you learned, new things that you learned that hitherto you didn't know that you have learned. So at the end of the day, it is marked by the lecturers, and marks are awarded. Apart from the marks that are awarded by the supervisors that went on the ground, the report too is marked, and the marks are added together for the students. So it is something that we do all the time. And believe you me, it really helps. It's helping because They cannot have it all in the institution.
Yeah.
You have to go out there, because listen, whatever is taught in school, we all have schooled before.
Yes.
They teach you something, it is theoretical. When you go to the industry, it is practical, real life situation. It is never like that thing that is taught you in class. But the good thing is you are exposed. You have heard of it before. You've been told this is, ABC. So when you get the, oh, okay, this is what I've been taught in the classroom. This is the real life situation. Now, here, this is how we do it. So the industry, I remember Doris said something like that, and that is very true. When you get the whether you are from the industry, from the school or not, they have to show you how it is done.
Exactly.
There is this book I read, The Hilton Culture. There is a culture in every hotel, in every industry. So yes, you have learned from school. When you get there, you now get to know, quote unquote, the Hilton culture. So the institutions are doing very well. The practicals, that internship or the training intermittently that students do is helping. But let me chip it in, because of the COVID, this thing has dwindled a little, and it's a bit of a worry. It's a bit of a worry. Yeah, because the restrictions, people are being careful. If you are not an employee in a particular place, it becomes a bit difficult to be allowed, to come do ABC work here in a particular organization. But then we are trying our best. We are trying our best to make sure they still have the requisite training on the job. Yes, before they.
I think, like you said, we need to have a very strong partnership with industry.
For that
because
one,
if the partnership is there, at least they also know that we depend on each other. The industry depends on the institution. The institutions also depend on them, and so they'll find a perfect fit to ensure that things are done well. Thank you so much, Doc. So that brings me to my last but one question, because after this round of our submissions, we'll all present our closing remarks on where we want to see the Ghanaian hospitality industry. So the next question is, how do we build a solid human capital for the sustenance of the Ghanaian hospitality industry? How do we go about it? How do we approach it? And I'll start with Gladys.
For the sustenance of Ghanaian hospitality, yes. Human capital, as Doc said, starts from school. It's a process. You spend 3, 4, 5 years in school before you get to the industry, yes. But what I think is that if somebody goes through HND for 3 years, after the 3rd year, the institution should be able to find that person an establishment to do a competent managerial or supervisory training for 3 to 6 months, because I have employed HND students and I have never been impressed. Sometimes I get angry because I also went through the same system. So if I have employed you, I expect to see certain things from you. At least you should have some basic something. So if I tell you that, oh, do this, do this, I know you can do it. I know you have the capability and the capacity to do it. But then you turn around and come, and it's the same old story. So you cannot differentiate between the HND students, the university students, and the catering school students. You understand? So for people of higher education, for people who have gone through the drills, HND university, at the end of their studies, be it industrial attachment after the 2 years that Doc said or not, there should be another attachment to build their competency and to build their supervisory role and ultimately to invite them into the managerial role. In other than that, we'll have the same vicious cycle of staff, of everything, the same thing every time. So I think the institutions are doing their best, they are doing well. I have to applaud them. But I also think that when they send people on attachments, like Addoc said that they have been following up. When you follow up, please meet the heads of these institutions, sit to them, and then have a one-on-one discussion. This and this and this and this and is what I want my students to be able to know at the end of it. Because you go there, she's from Takoradi Poly, she's from Accra Poly, she's coming to work in your department for 3 weeks. And you know, if you go to the kitchen, you peel onions, you peel garlic, you do all the mise en place. I have been there before. It has been like that. You do all the mise en place for them to do the cooking. By the time they are cooking, you are tired. You've been given another assignment to do. That is not what students go on attachment to do. Those things, they know how to do them already. So there should be a laid down procedure, there should be a laid down plan that has to be discussed with the head of these institutions, with the lecturers. As she said, that there should be the school and then the industry thing, it should be laid down properly. Because sometimes when the reason why people are saying that is that both the graduates come and they do nothing. It is true. Because they don't know the practical, they don't have the practical knowledge. And then they come and then they mess up. And one mess up student, it means that all of them are bad. But it's not like that. Yeah. There should be after school competence training, because hospitality is a hand-on business. It's not sitting on a desk, Googling something and writing reports. No, you write your reports at the end of it, but you have to work, you have to show working. You understand? It's like mathematics. If you don't learn how to solve the problem, how can you get the results? Definitely you get it wrong. So I think that it should start from the school. They should collaborate well with the industry, telling them what they expect the industry to teach their students. And then when the students also go to the attachment, the monitoring should be proper. You understand? And then when the students come back, she should be made to practically demonstrate, not only in writing, to practically demonstrate to the class, verbally to demonstrate, okay, this is the telephone, pick the call. Then the lecturer is, pick the call. Exactly. I'll use your phone. So the lecturer knows that, yes, she has got an attachment. She knows what she is doing before the student is giving that certificate. The award of whatever it is, with their name on it, bang. I'm done.
Yeah, but Gladys, a follow-up question on that. You know, the technical universities.
Yes.
Student after completion goes on national service, which we have in Ghana. Yes. Now, the period of national service is assumed that it also gives the student an additional time to, yoke with industry, get to learn how industry trends are. Get to take a bit of knocks, because when you write a CV and you write, I have 2 years experience, it is not about the good things you learn, but in sense we are saying that how far can you go? I mean, what are some of the things you have stomached or the things you have tolerated on the job? It's all part of the experience. So what happens then with this 6 months training, industry training you are proposing that should be made as a plan for students? What happens to the national service then? Because after school, there is national service for the technical universities.
Yes, some of them don't do the service in the hospitality industry.
Okay.
Some of them goes to other industries.
Okay.
So that is where the problem is. Because if somebody works in a hotel or any hospitality establishment for 1 year, then the person is well grounded to take up any responsibility afterwards. But then those that goes, me, when I finished Polytechnic, I did my national service in an NGO. You understand? Yes, I did my national service in an NGO. So you can just imagine. You can just imagine. So if you yourself, you are not a smart person, you yourself, you're a little fragile, then it goes on like that. Okay.
But
So
Gladys, yeah, sorry, please finish it. Please go on.
So for this gap to be bridged, people from the hospitality departments in the various technical universities of various universities have to do their attachments in hospitality establishments. You understand?
Okay.
They should go to the hospitality establishments to do their attachments so that they can get more, so that they can be well grounded to take up any responsibility after the national service. But you can't send the person to Korle Bu canteen, and then when the person finishes with the Korle Bu canteen, she is coming to work in my hotel as what? You understand? Yes.
I understand you.
Yes. So they come. It's not that they don't know their stuff. Theoretically, they know their stuff.
Okay.
Theoretically, they know their stuff, but practically, it doesn't match up to their certificate. Practically, it doesn't match up to their certificate. And some of these things, I have had issues where I have called people and told them that, look, you are a polytechnic graduate. I've also been a polytechnic graduate before. These are some of the things that you should do, because I don't want the other staff laughing at you. When they do that, it hurts me. It hurts me. So I have to call them aside, coach them. Look, you do in-service training. By the time you realize they're going to join those that they've come to meet, doing the same thing. Yeah. You understand? So they should have a different orientation from school.
Would you agree? Okay, please go on.
Yeah, you are from this place. You are at this level. So when you go to the workplace, as much that you are learning from the old people you came to meet, maintain your standard, maintain your guard, and keep your head above the water. Then you can excel. But you don't go and join them. I also don't mind you because you are not serious. Yeah.
Now let me ask you the final follow-up question. That what do you say to?
Can I please come in small?
Please come in, dog.
Yeah, I just want to rectify something, please.
Okay.
There was a comment that when somebody goes to work in Korle Bu canteen, you should not find yourself maybe in the hotel. In the education system, it is provided that students should have knowledge in diverse places. Remember, the hospitality embraces a whole lot of businesses. So the Korle Bu canteen is part of hospitality industry. And these children these students, they are not even children. These students are being, trained for the hospitality industry. That person that will work in that Korle Bu canteen should have hospitality knowledge, rising through the ranks.
Okay.
Likewise, the person who will work in the hotel.
Okay.
Remember, we are all hospitality people. It is divided into two. We have the commercial sector, we have the welfare sector, and the hospital canteen falls under the welfare sector. So it's all inclusive. Now, when you come to the education system, in my workplace, what we do, of which I also pass through, you do for the first attachment, you go either of them, but people choose to do first one in the industry, as in the hospital canteen or an industrial canteen, to have that experience. Then the next one, you can work in a hotel. You understand? So that you should have both experiences. Exactly. Yeah. You should have both experiences. Else you'll be tilted to just one side. If we said maybe the course is called hotel management, then we'll look at only hotel management, but it is hospitality management. So everything inclusive. That's the point I just want to make there. So
Okay.
they do the
I
practical
think
training
also
in
come in
both
here.
areas. Yeah.
Yes, let me also come. We're talking about national service. We're talking about national service, and I made that analogy that you cannot go. I did my first after the first year. I did my Snaith Hospital, their canteen. You understand?
Okay.
But I didn't spend 1 year. I'm talking about where you spend 1 year. Where you spend, that is why I brought in that. I've also worked in a hospital before. I did my Snaith Hospital. You understand? I'm talking about national service, working 1 year there. It doesn't add up because
Well, in fact, when you mentioned that, I think I also agree, because I think if whether it is 1 year, whether it should be a prolonged time, that the 3 months, the 6 months, it's not enough. I agree.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not enough. So if you are proposing the national service, then I think it's not a bad idea. Then it means policymakers should pick it up.
Exactly.
And place people at the right, place, looking at what they read, their study area. You place people here according to their study area. I, for one, for my national service, I was placed in a vocational school. I think it's even better. So I taught catering, and I taught home management. Wow. Although it's a vocational school, you understand? I went to teach.
So you're part of teaching, isn't it?
I'm telling you.
And you see, it helped because finally you are lecturing. Yeah. Finally, so you follow the perfect career path.
Yes, yes.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if people are placed rightly, looking at maybe their study area, then they are placed, I think it will work. It will really work. Instead of, you send somebody who has done hospitality to some village to go and then do, I don't know, you understand? By the time they come back, they are still.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
If
so,
I may
Gladys,
also
please,
come in.
Okay, please come in. It's interesting. Come in.
Yeah. In the hospitality institutions like the Polytechnic, now technical universities.
Thank you very much.
I knew you would have corrected it.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the opportune time to play the air.
Don't worry, I have stopped writing whole poly in my resume, so I know it's whole technical university.
Yes.
So,
thank you.
When you go on these attachments, as we mentioned earlier, you'll be asked to go and maybe in the kitchen, you just be peeling onion, mixing pastries and everything. There is no way they will ask you maybe go and work with the head chef at least for a week. So assuming what the institutions and the industry have to do is, for instance, people coming from the technical universities are not coming to, they are managers, they are being trained as managers and supervisors. So when they come around, after working with the shoe chef, the pastry chef, at least they should go around every section for a day. Then at least spend a week with the head chef. They should do the same thing when they go to front desk. Spend a week with the front office manager. Do the same thing when they go to housekeeping. Work with the housekeepers for about 3 days. Work with a supervisor for about 3 days. Then spend a week with the executive housekeeper. If you really want to see that competency in our graduates, I think that is what is supposed to be done. And this should be, as I mentioned earlier on, it should be a policy that will provide a framework for both the hospitality industry and the students. Because if it is a national policy, we know that these people, when they come, they are supposed to work with the low ranks for a week. Then they should spend a whole week or 2 weeks with the managers or supervisors. Because these things we are doing already, like this cutting of onion, we've done it already in the schools as practicals. We know how to do it already. So going around to know what all the sections are doing Our main aim is to manage after school.